Yo, the MB back. Finally. Um uh wow. All these Dallas Maverick experts are like, "Oh, we're going to lose in the first round of the playoffs." I'm like, "Fam, do y'all know who we got? We have Luka Doncic, the prince of the NBA right now. If we're losing to anybody, princes don't lose to bums. Princes lose to kings. Now, hey, we might lose to the Lakers with King James, but Prince Luka might become the king this year. Might become. He's only 21. Only 21. It's time to get LeBron out of here, man. It's time to get Bron out of here. I don't know why, but I've been kind of going through a weird, like, let's get all these old guys out of here, because it's just like there should not be anything from my childhood still relevant. I think that should be a rule. Like, why is Drake, LeBron, and Tom Brady still as relevant as they were when I was 8 years old? Like, let's have a conversation about that for a quick second. But yeah, the NBA back. I don't know when this is officially out, but this podcast is out. But tonight, Clippers and Lakers play each other. This podcast is gonna be up quick, probably tomorrow morning. But the Clippers, Lakers, Mavericks play tomorrow night against the Rockets. It's the real season. It's resuming the real games. But it's weird right now because I'm like, I don't know what to expect, because it's interesting how the stat that just keeps blowing my mind is the stat of like the coronavirus pause, the off season we got forced on is longer than a normal NBA off season. That is, do you know how ridiculous that is? Like because it not only impacted this season, but it's impacting the next year, this next season. So it's like we're gonna look back at this time in like 10 years or so, like, wow, that was a weird 2 seasons for like all these sports. But especially basketball, like, which got affected the most out of everything. Because we were about to enter the playoffs. Man. It's been 13 months without a NBA playoff game. 14 months. That should be illegal. Like, I can feel the energy in the air just because basketball's on. There's just something about basketball, man. It's just like nothing like football or baseball where they're like covered with helmets and things. Like, it's basketball. It's straight up just like it's you, the ball, and versus someone else. Like, the energy is just crazy. So yeah, I don't know what to expect with this bubble situation. First of all, let me keep apologizing to Adam Silver with this whole bubble situation. I thought it was such a joke a couple months ago. I remember reading like, oh, NBA plans on having a bubble type of scenario at Disney World. I'm like, what is going on with Adam? What is this man doing? And so, hey, kudos to that guy, man. I mean, I would say he's the best owner in sports just because of his overall awareness, business-wise, social-wise. Like, he is what you want out of a owner, of a commissioner in 2020. I only know the MLB commissioner right now just because he is under scrutiny right now, which is not a good reason for a commissioner to be in the news. The NFL owner or commissioner Roger Goodell, we don't even need to get into that. That's where you like Roger Goodell's. He came in strong. Like he was a great commissioner for his first 3 years with the whole, domestic violence in the NFL. He kind of like shot that a little bit, but he's been kind of sketchy the last 10 years. A little sketch. But Adam Silver, kudos to him. I was hating back then. Especially with seeing like how baseball and the NFL is handling all this. He's looking good in the limelight. But I will say basketball is definitely, I would say, the easiest to manage in this bubble situation. It is definitely easier because you have 12 players, and like really like 8 of them really play on each team compared to the NFL and the MLB, which have way too many players. I get it. Like NFL has 52 active players. Could be totally wrong. I think baseball maybe has in the high 20s, early 30s amount of players on each team active. But yeah, it's just I don't know what to expect out of this NBA season. We're gonna see who's been training and who's been not training, and it's definitely, I could definitely see a situation where people didn't train, because I definitely can see the argument of some of these players like, oh, like the virus is probably canceling this season, so there's no need to work out. Like, and then boom, you start playing in July, August, September, and then next season starts 2 months later. So it's like, oh man, it's really like, if the players, I know there's players that kind of took off April, like what is going on? Like definitely took breaks. But if there was a player that did not stop, it's really kind of inspiring, because it's like, man, like even through tough times, like if you're able to still do your work and everything, we're gonna see who's been like really training these next 4 months, because this not only impacts the rest of this year, but it's going to impact next year. Because with these great, the NBA playoffs, there's going to be only a 2-month break in between this year and next year of the season. So it's like this offseason is barely going to be something. So it's like, man, this was your offseason the past 4 months. This was it. No warning, no nothing. Just like, yep. And I'm scared that the player that took advantage of this situation is Kawhi Leonard. He's definitely someone that was like, yo, I'm going to just keep working out. And if we play basketball season, we do. If we don't, I'm cool. But yeah, I'm scared as Kawhi. Or Luka. We're gonna see who, and we're not gonna see it from the elite players, because some of these players from these bad teams are gonna get eliminated pretty quick. But we're gonna see the elites. Like I'm kind of like, did James Harden do anything? Like James Harden kind of has that stigma of like kind of being lazy, and he just has that stereotype. I don't think he is, but we can see. We will see. I'm already preparing for the LeBron narratives. If he loses, this counts. If he wins, it's an asterisk. I'm already preparing. I already know. I know where all these arguments are going to go. I know if Giannis wins, it will count. I don't know, man. It just feels like every year since 2016, there's been an asterisk on every finals, and I'm sick of it. If there's gonna be an asterisk on every finals, just count them champions and call it a day. It's kind of getting annoying, because this will be the 4th straight year Honestly, man. Okay. Ever since 2015, everyone argues like, oh, if this player didn't get hurt. Oh, if this player didn't get hurt. Oh, if that player didn't. Can we just stop the ifs and just crown them champions? Like it. Yeah, the asterisks in the finals are getting kind of annoying because it's like it happens every year. So it's just kind of like, okay, if they're gonna happen every year, it's just normal. It's normal to have an asterisk then. So let me introduce this podcast real quick. I'm 10 minutes in. Yo, it's a Shi-Fi podcast, episode 73. Yeah, I'm pretty sure 73. Is it though? I'm always skeptical. I'm always trying to. Let me look it up real quick, so I'm not wrong. But all right, 72. Yeah, 73. Shout out to everybody listening on Spotify, Apple, YouTube. I always check my Apple Podcast situation, my platform, because there's a thing where you can have like ratings, and so I remember when I started this podcast, there was like 1 5-star rating. I was like, oh, okay. And then the next day, there was like a 1-star rating. I was like, oh, okay. And then, so right now, there's been 3 ratings on Apple Podcasts. And there's been 2 5-star ratings, 1 1-star rating. So it's average of a 3.5 out of 5 rating podcast. I will gladly take that. Yeah, if some of y'all could like maybe just like throw like a little 5-star rate or a 4-star rating if that's how you feel. On Apple Podcasts, it's really like you don't need an account or you don't need to make a remark. You don't even like have to say you can be very anonymous. So just type a 5-star rating. I don't know what that does, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool, you know. Yeah, it's kind of cool. But let me yeah. So. For sure. Cool. All right. So let's get on this topic real quick. Let me just clarify. You know, one of my most like popular clips on YouTube podcast wise is my like I put like why I hate Lil Dicky. I still hate him. That's not the situation. Like that's I'm not clarifying that part. Well, I hate him a little bit less. I'll say that. There was a lot of comments on that video. I'm like, guys, I have valid points, and you're literally validating my points with your comments. John Cena. But okay, I like some of these comments. One was like, I can relate. There's another one was like, this is a similar video I saw with the same explanation. Exactly. There were a couple like essays. There was one that was like, man, so your purpose of the video. Okay, let me read this one person's comment. It says, so the purpose of your little video was what? Oh, to publicly display your lack of emotional maturity as well as your inability to turn off your tunnel vision and imagine yourself walking in the shoes of a man who legitimately made it to the top of an industry that has a success rating of like 1%. I'm not talking about that. I'm not. There's nothing. Literally, what does this person talk about? This person's name is Timberly Fabe. Okay, I'm giving this person too much recognition. Let me continue. Do you not realize just how incredibly difficult it is to even get your foot in the door in LA? You're literally looking at someone that understands that. Dave methodically used his highly gifted brain and craft to make his childhood dreams come true. Plus, he actually has all his talents to boot. Bro, it's his dreams. not yours. I know. Let the man do his thing because he does it well. Try to show some artistic respect because he's actually reaching all of his goals, which may not align with your plans for his future. But look, being a hater really isn't cute at all. And anyone, even with an ounce of creativity in their blood or appreciation for art, can clearly see that his show is very well done. And Dave is absolutely killing it out there, making his dreams come true with little to no career flaws. Dave is brilliant. And when you finally become an adult male someday, you'll feel embarrassed when you rewatch this little video and see just how silly you sound for taking the time out of your day to publicly post a "please virtually validate me" video of you whining and pouting about another man's success. Ew. Okay, and then I replied. What did I say? This was like 2 months ago. I said, I really liked his show, Dave. I just didn't like how he just completely left the world that made him what he is today. Woo! And then I referred on. He hasn't dropped an album in 5 years. 5 years. Kind of feels weird. And this person replied with oh my gosh. Another essay? First of all, this isn't the only person. I'm picking on this person because it's an essay. I like essay hater comments. This person said, Shi-Fi. You know this person's about to get into it when he calls my name. Shi-Fi. If you were given the opportunity to write a script for a potential show of your own on a major network and starring in a comedic TV show has always been your biggest dream, would you not put all of your energy, time, and creative juices into it? Also, much like stand-up comedy, I would imagine the creative process for a solid Lil Dicky record could take a lot longer than it would with other genres. Personally, I have mad respect for stand-up comics who are able to pump out a new tour each year with a brand new material that stays relevant and fresh. What is this person talking about? I think that would be so hard to do, and very few comics are able to write that much material without it getting stale or even downright No, I'm kind of tired. Okay. I'm picking on this person. I just think it's funny because I like essay comments. You know, I hate Lil Dicky less because right now, because okay, this show was good. I'll say that. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. The show was good. It was very above average. It was an elite show. And it was only an elite show. I will say this. I'll throw some hate on this. It was only an elite show because I thought it was just gonna be straight up him the whole time. It was gonna be like 100% show around him, but no, there was a lot of like nice actors on there. The dude Taco from Odd Future is in it, which was very random. Gata, who is an actual gate, like he calls himself Gata in real life. The redheaded dude. There was like random rappers in there, like Young Thug and Gunna, Trippy. YG was in it. What in the world? How did he even get this? Like the show was elite because it was like I thought it was just gonna be straight up like Lil Dicky, like telling witty jokes, and like I had extremely low expectations for this situation because it was just like I've seen your music like of the past year or so, and so it was good that Lil Dicky didn't make it all about him. He did what he does best, which is writing. He is a writer, like comedic writer. It's just sometimes he shouldn't perform his own writings, which is a real thing. Like there's a lot of great writers and a lot of great performers. Most of the time it's not the same person. And so Lil Dicky's one of those guys that's like, okay, he can be the star, but he just can't be like the overall like all about him type of situation. But I'm still gonna hate on this situation of like he hasn't released a decent music record in 5 years, and if that's what he wants to do, then maybe I'm not gonna call him a musician anymore. I'm not gonna call him a rapper anymore. I don't know. I just had a high. I just thought he was gonna pan out as a great musician, and he was talking spicy in his only album he's ever made. He was talking mad spicy, and when you're talking that spicy on an album, I'm expecting another album. I'm expecting another more music. I'm expecting like, yo, you're really into this game, okay? But you know, a lot of rappers, a lot of musicians, they make records for a little bit, and then they go off and do other things. Literally every rapper ever made. I mean, Ludacris is like probably a great example of him like making music for like 5 to 10 years and then just dropping it and going into acting and becoming one of the like into the biggest movie franchise with Fast and Furious. Um, you know, so it's tough. It's tough because I expected because a lot of his comedic stuff was not funny, and so that's why I had like not really high expectations for this. I didn't really want this TV show personally. Um, but yeah, but I think it's weird. I'm such a technical I'm just a technical person. I'm just technical. Okay, it's literally just being technical. Um, but hmm. But Lil Dicky is someone that every person should look up to as someone like a Donald Glover, a Childish Gambino. Like I like that part. I just did not think his show was gonna be good because his comedic songs weren't good. Earth wasn't good. Brain, like the I'm Brain album wasn't good. Like literally none of his things were like slightly funny. So I had reason for it not liking this TV show. In conclusion, because I need to move on. I am a fan of Lil Dicky now because of his great show. He's getting into more of his strengths. But now I will just have to kind of drift away from his music career and just kind of like, okay, you're not really going to be a musician anymore, a rapper. Like, you're not going to be in that world much. So let me like take you out of my rankings. Because, you know, in 2015 with the double XL list, with the Yachties, the Uzis, I said he was the best lyrical rapper in that situation. And I said that for the next like 2 years or so. And then I was like, okay, let me draw back that opinion. And now I'm just kind of fully drawing back any music opinion about Lil Dicky. So it's just a compromise. I get it. It's good. It's good. I'm fine with Lil Dicky. I have no issue with him. So yeah, y'all go watch Dave. It's a good show. It's a good show. But yeah, let me move on. Did I talk about Lil Dicky for like 10 minutes? Why not do this? Baseball. MLB commissioner is looking a little shaky right now. With the whole Dodgers Astros situation now. So what should I say? So let's see. The Dodgers Astros situation this past week. You know, they have beef. You know, everyone hates the Astros now because of the whole cheating, and everyone's kind of getting their witty jokes off. Like, ho, ho, ho. It's hard to guess now instead of knowing, you know, all those bad jokes. But you know, Joe, what's his name? Joe King, Dodgers pitcher, made the little frowny face to like tease the batter. I think was George Springer, Astros. I think George Springer was getting emotional, like super like into like why was that a strike type of thing. And Joe Kelly made the little frowny face and got suspended 8 games. Wow. I think they did the math. It's like the equivalent of like a 20-game suspension in like a normal 162 season. And you know that's weird because it's like you have this whole Astros cheating scandal, and you don't suspend one person, like a player. You know, it just doesn't look good socially. The MLB commissioner, what's his name? Matron. See, this is why Robert. It's not Mahomes. That's somebody. Let me see. See, this is why Manfred. There we go. Rob Manfred, and it's just like it just doesn't look right. But I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to just eliminate all this Astro arguments, fights. But honestly, he kind of poured fire, or wait, what's that thing? Poured gas on the fire, like kind of like even sparked it a little bit more. Because now it's like, man, he's really defending the Astros a little bit. But yeah, all of it's just petty at the end of the day. I mean, at the end of the day, the Astros are still the World Series champs. I mean, they're just gonna be. If I was an Astro, I'd just be laying low this whole year, just like let's just get these wins and leave. Get that bread, wins, and then leave. But it's just it's tough. It's gonna be a long season. A long season because you know now it's like with 60 games, every team is trying to get their little jokes off, little arguments off quick because there's like not much time. There's not you're not gonna see them much. So it's definitely something to watch this for the future, and will be intriguing. Will be intriguing. The Miami Marlins had like 17 coronavirus cases. I think they're all like getting well now, but low key, like baseball is just kind of like, all right, let's just sweep that under the rug real quick because we don't want the Marlins ruining this season. Like, you don't want the Marlins ruining. Like, they're trash. It's like, why would you want a trash team ruining your whatever? But I think everyone's like low key, just kind of like, all right, you getting a virus case is not the end of the world. But like, you still have to like quarantine a little bit. It's really really interesting because it's like it's really easy to catch this, but the like death rate is extremely low, but you should still take precaution. And it's like a life pause. It's like if you catch it, you just have to pause your life for a week type of sickness. It's definitely weird, but yeah, baseball, see what happens. I don't know what the Rangers are doing right now. They're probably trashing it up a little bit. But let me check out these standings because now with all these games being crucial, yes, Rangers are 2-3. Yes, we're only a half a game back. Well, the Astros have lost some. Okay, we're in the weakest division, so I like it. Twins. Now I'm confused. I'm still confused about the playoff situation. Are there gonna be what 6 to 8 teams now per each league? I don't know. I just kind of I'll figure that out later. But yeah, with this virus situation, it's tricky because like now, like with the 60 game tight season, with the Marlins, they had to like play the Phillies the next night, but they like paused it because they don't want the Philly guys catching it. So it's like if a team catches it, they're just like their season is on pause for like a week or so. So man, this is like so weird because like most teams have played 6 games. The Marlins affected have only played like 3. So definitely something to entertain, watch. But yeah, that's about it. Are the Dodgers killing it? Oh, they're 4-2. Man, that division's killing it. Okay. What else? Is that about it? Yeah. Let's wrap this up. I'm not talking for an hour or 10 minutes. I need someone else to talk for that long. Whatever. Real quick, no, this is just tea. Okay, this is petty tea, celebrity tea. I knew about this is complete left turn. I knew that DaBaby was kind of low key dating DaniLeigh. DaniLeigh. I should know that by now. I should know how to say her name. I'm gonna call her DaniLeigh. I've known her for like a couple of years. I just forget. And I remember DaniLeigh was posting so many like sad girl tweets, and like somebody like ruined her. I was like, man, who ruined you? And there was rumors that it was DaBaby because like they dropped a song together like that after a week of those like sad tweets, and they had a little chemistry in that video, I will say. And so yeah, I don't know what happened. Apparently DaniLeigh was like very, what do you call it, controlling of DaBaby in a bad way. Like you can be like cool, you can encourage, you can like, I'm not saying all controlling is bad or whatever, but like it was like to the line of like, no, you shouldn't, don't go to that like it was like, you can't do this, you can't do that, whatever. It's their business, whatever. But it was interesting because it kind of like got out in the limelight this past month, because I knew about this in January a little bit. It was rumored, but now it got confirmed because like I think DaniLeigh was like, pictures had gotten exposed of text messages, which that stinks. And then DaniLeigh apparently like went on like a reset trip per her Instagram. I don't know. I feel sick just talking about this right now. Okay. In conclusion, DaBaby and DaniLeigh had a thing, broke up, and yeah, that's it. I just wanted to talk about that for like 1 minute because I knew the scoop. I just could feel it. When you can feel something, like your intuition, and you're like, yeah, they things are adding up. Why do people listen to this podcast? Okay, let's wrap this up. Song of the week, shoutouts. All right, song of the week. I'm gonna say no dribble. DaBaby featuring Stunna. Stunna for Vegas. DaBaby's cool. He's goofy. I like the music video. And the flow. DaBaby's flow is kind of nice in this one. Shout out Patrick Mahomes for being a part owner of the Kansas City Royals. Man, that's some GOAT talk right there. And on the same day, then he bought like a Ferrari, or a Lamborghini, one of those, which I'm not a fan of personally, but like, hey, if you invest in something, hey, go ahead and splurge on something you want personally. Like, I can't hate on that. But if you bounce it out, I can't hate. But yeah, shout out to Patrick. I'm surprised no other player has like done that. It's weird. I don't know. Kind of cool. Yeah. So that's about it. Is that it? Did I really talk about NBA, Lil Dicky, MLB, and DaBaby all in the same? Guess I did. All right. That's about it. Thanks for watching. Peace. See you on the other side or whatever side. Bye.